Hello, hi, how's it going? I'm some guy and I'm talking to you about investing today. I started investing about 4 years ago and I'm 30 now, so I would have been around 26. And this channel is going to be about my investment journey since then. I was playing with about £10,000 of my own money. I invested around about 5,000 of that in Meta, all in one company, because I did some research and I thought I knew everything. And that was during COVID, I think, or yeah, in sort of the middle of COVID, sometime in 2020 or 2021, around that time. And then after COVID, I held it a few more months and then sold it. I was up 100%. I doubled my money on Meta, near enough, and made nearly £5,000. Then, about a year and a half ago, I inherited £156,000. Was it a year and a half ago? Or maybe it was actually 2 years. But anyway, time flies. And since then, I've been now playing with not 10,000 of my own money, which grew to 15 or more. Now suddenly I'm nearly at 200,000 because look, I have a stocks ISA with nearly 50,000, which is up £7,000, nearly £8,000 in the last year. So I've put £20,000 in here twice. And this is tax free in the ISA. My biggest position in here is United Health. You can see the other stuff I buy. This is not financial advice. I'm supposed to say that. And it's true. This is just you watching me and my investment journey. And maybe you learn a few things about some companies, but don't take my advice for what to buy because I'm not a professional stock trader. I'm just some guy, some 30-year-old guy who got lucky with an inheritance. So you can see I've started buying, I call these placeholders really. Sometimes I do some research and I find some stuff and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. And I buy some stuff and put it there. I've got some banks and some boring stuff in here. A lot of boring stuff that still does well. I've still got some Meta in here, look. The top seven are always good to have. So Microsoft, Nvidia has been huge, as you well know. You must surely know that Nvidia has been big. Yesterday I made £4,000 selling my AMD stock and a few other bits and bobs because that went up 30% nearly in one day. And before that, I was huge on Google. Now I'm pretty huge on United Health. So do some research on them. Look, I got in at 334, so at 365, and I'm up quite a bit just in my ISA. So if I sell this, it's tax free. I could make that money right now, but I'm holding until it at least gets back to like 400, maybe 450. At one time it was 600. I'm going to watch it come up and I'm going to wait. I'm going to bide my time. United Health, a comeback story. Check it out. In the Mag 7, the most undervalued one has been Google. After all my research, many people agreed it was Google that was the most undervalued. So I owe a lot of this £35,000 profit in the last year, and the huge gains I've had just in the last 3 months. As you can see, I always keep some cash, never go all in. The lowest amount of cash I ever had in the pot was about 15 or £14,000, and then I felt a little bit like unsafe. You know, you got to manage your risk. I like to have some dry powder, as they call it, to pounce on any dips. And there are dips. Dips do happen. Google went way down. It went down 20%. It was almost unheard of. When was it? When was that big dip? I guess it was here, right? We was at 200 at the start of the year. Look, I wish I'd bought a 145, but you can't fully time the bottom. So I was buying it all the way throughout. I was even buying it here, to be honest. I think I started in the winter last year sometime. So I was buying it here. I was buying it every month. I was dribbling more and more money into the kitty, and my average was always around 175. Then I got my average up to about 180, and then I think my average started coming down because I was buying all the way down here, and my average went down to something like 16 something, 165. Now it's 243 because recently I've been buying back in. But what I did was I waited all the way. I had £60,000 or more in just one company. Crazy, right? But is it crazy? Because I sold at 225, which was probably very recently. Where is it? 3 months. It wasn't 3 months ago, but I sold in September, probably on either the Tuesday here, look, or the Wednesday, like a fool. I think it was just before a rate cut. But you can't be upset when it continues to go up after you sell. If you take, I took 50% off the table, made about £6,000 or £7,000. Then I continued to sell more as it continued to go up, and made another few grand. I didn't think it would go all the way to 250, but look, it actually went to 254.72. Just like timing the bottom is hard, timing the top is hard. And then I saw it dip back down to the 240s and thought, oh, I'll get back in. So I started buying back in. It's nothing like what I had before at 60 grand. But look, I'm still holding on to some in the ISA from all that time ago with an average of 187, and I'm still up a nice nearly 30%. I'm just going to hold it in there because I have no reason to sell it. I've seen people talking about it on YouTube, saying it might hit 300. I don't know when, but it seems feasible, right? Just look into Google basically and get yourself some Google. Get yourself some Amazon. Get yourself some Berkshire Hathaway, you Berks. You've got to get some Berkshire. Because look, you could have got in August at 4.59. You could have got a lovely 10% or more. My average is 4.90. It's at 5.01. How's it going to fare? Sometimes I read this AI overview. This is trading 212, by the way. Look, I read the endings. I just go to the bottom and it says it's showing quiet strength in case I ever feel like selling. And I know that I really shouldn't, but sometimes you just hover over that sell button and you're like, profit. I could just take the profit, man. It's just, and when you grow up poor as well, and then suddenly you've got like, you're messing around with £200,000. It's like, should I be messing around with this money buying individual stocks? No, maybe I should just be buying ETFs. But if you buy ETFs, you don't get as much gains. So then you buy individual stocks. And then you have to constantly be reading. And that's why you're here. Hopefully, this is somehow helpful. On Trading 212, look, you can see these little AI overviews. Some people might say it's a load of trash, but I actually read this stuff. No warning signs of a reversal or sudden jump. It's got a firm footing. The overall outlook for the near future appears gently positive but not exuberant. What a great word that is, exuberant. It's likely to continue its current slow and steady pace. Yes, very nice. It's slow and steady. It's the Warren Buffett company. It's actually, what does it actually do? It's insurance, isn't it? Freight, transportation, utilities, and blah, 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 blah. It's a big conglomerate, man. So I've started buying in, and I've already got some nice profit, a little bit anyway. I could take it. I won't. I'll try and hold this one for a long time. It became quite a big position. I'm not sure if I should have bought so much of it, but I'm also in on Amazon a bit higher. I bought in I'm right in at the tip, but I've decided I wanted to be involved with some Amazon. So anyway, I'm not really down, and I'm just sort of waiting around. I'll probably hold it very, very long if I can, at least a year. I'm trying to hold my big positions for at least a year. I held Google for, I was buying Google for about a year. I still have Google, and it's made me some really nice profit. I can show you on my history. Look, you can also go to history. Where's history? And then you can see, you can actually see what I've been doing. So I've been buying, I've been getting dividends. Look at my dividends, all-time dividends, £270. Delightful. Look at my orders. Look at my transactions. No, don't look at my transactions. Look at my things that I've been buying. I bought £20 worth of this. That doesn't sound like something I would do. This wasn't me. Who bought all this stuff? Oh, this is because I buy that Invest Monthly thing, which buys all this stuff. I guess. I guess so. Yeah. And then I've got interest on cash. I've got Palo Alto I've been buying. Let's look for some sells. Bought. I've been buying so much. All these $20 because I buy this Invest Monthly thing. I can't see anything about sales. Apologies. I want to see sales really. So I can see some big moves. Some huge moves. Sell shares cancelled. Don't know what I was smoking that day. Alright, bought shares, sold shares. Where are these big Google sales? Sold! Here's one. Apparently I sold some Google on this day. Was there a profit? Was there a profit? Fill price. Filled. I know it was filled, but what does that mean? I'm not sure why I sold this if I didn't get any money for it. It's not very clear, is it? I thought it would be way more clear. I sold Duolingo and I made a nice profit. I remember doing it. Result, $50. I did it a few times though, so it wasn't just once. A dividend. I sold Pool for a profit of £1.46. Here's some more Duolingo profit. £164. Isn't it great? I did a few little Duolingo trades. Still looking for my Google trade. It was actually longer ago. Further longer. More time. Sold ASML. I remember doing that. I also sold that a bit too soon. I sold at $949, but it actually went above $1,000. But I still made 672 buckaroos. So you can't be upset. And I also made 636 buckaroos on Apple, of all things. Because I read that the iPhone release coincides with Apple going up almost all the time, every year. I mean, it has a little dip, and everyone's like, the iPhone sucks. And then everyone goes and buys it. And then it goes up. And that's why I made money. So that's fun. Here's an Alphabet sale that made me some more profit. So I guess you could say I'm a swing trader. 584, very nice. Sold £3 on the 24th of September. See these extra little sales? I just kept selling. Oh, I actually sold this at 250. What a legend. I'm so proud of myself for actually holding another £3 until then. And I sold here at 246, you see? So I wasn't completely stupid. I just sold a little bit too early. I was still buying ASML at 967. Apparently. What did I sell ASML at? No, not bought. Sold. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I knew I was about to sell. And I ended up selling at 949. So why was I buying at 9? Well, whatever. Anyway, sometimes you buy a little higher. But it probably just raised my average a little bit. And I still made good money. As you can see, I'm always dipping into Nvidia, buying Amazon, buying Apple. I'm just constantly on here every night before I go to bed. Because it's Thailand time, you see? Thailand time. So yeah, Warner Brothers. I actually bought some Warner Brothers and then something was happening. It went up because they were bought or there's a merger or something with another company. Can't remember now, but I read about it and then I bought some and it paid off. AMD, ASML. Where's that bloody Google sale? There's a big Google sale down here somewhere. Here's another Google sale which made me $800. I sold at 251. Amazing. Apparently I was buying as well at 250. I just couldn't get enough and then couldn't get rid of it fast enough. Couldn't decide. Buy, sell, buy, sell. It's interesting looking back. Do you buy? Do you sell? Sometimes you can't decide. You can't decide, man. I bought this, I bought that. Jesus. I was absolutely mad for it. Yeah, I love making money on stocks. Look, another 1,300 and when I was a teenager, I could barely afford a bar of chocolate at lunchtime. I couldn't even afford fish and chips with all the trimmings. and I've got a nice cup of tea now whenever I want it, and all this money in the bank, but not really in the bank because it's in stocks. And you too should buy stocks. I don't really know what the point of this video is anymore. I guess just to show you the stocks that I own and tell you to go out and buy some. United Health, Amazon, Berkshire, Google, Vici. What is it? It's a REIT, right. They are an experiential, what does that mean? Real estate investment trust. They own a big portfolio of entertainment places and world-renowned Caesar's Palace, and geographically diverse portfolio with 29 gaming facilities and 48 million square feet and blah blah blah. They own property. They're a property company. Think about McDonald's. Think about all these other companies. McDonald's not so much. Think about Monopoly is what I meant to say. Why is it not making me money? Because something's wrong with this sector. I don't know why. I don't really care why. It's supposed to be a good long-term hold. Look, it's stable. I bought some, and it pays you a dividend of 5.4%, which is more than I'd get in my bank. It's more than I get from trading T12 on cash, because now that's only interest on cash. It's only 4% now, you see. So why have it in cash when you can buy Vici and get more than 4%? You can get 5.6%. You see? 5.4% even. You can also buy Stag, which is another one that only pays 4%, but they are a real estate investment trust, which they own lots of properties, and over the last year they're down 3%, which is bad. Why would you buy this and not Vici? Good question. Why? Diversification? Or you could say it's diversification, because, you know. But maybe I'll just sell it at 37 and then buy more of this, and then more of this, and this, and this, and this, and sort of this. Move money around. That's what I do. I move money around. Sometimes I change my mind. I'm still young. I buy stuff. I wonder why I've bought it. I make mistakes. I make decisions that aren't always clear. I'm not a professional, and this is not financial advice, but you should probably look into S&P Global. They're a good company. They are a good company because they already pay a dividend. They provide credit ratings, so they're a credit company. They beat their estimates in Q3. And they also are showing little price movement, hovering near the session's low. Over the last week, they've showed signs of volatility. Technical signals. Who cares about them? Putting all of it together, they show resilience, and the overall outlook is neutral, but might lean towards positive. Returns have not offered a strong payoff. Well, I'll be the judge. Look at over the year, it's down 7%, max 47% since 2020. So you could have ridden it all the way up to 473, lost all your money, cried about it, got back in, sell, buy, sell, sell, buy, sell. It's a weird company. It's an interesting one. I can't remember why. I did some research and it seemed like it was a good offer at the time. Look, it's got an outperform rating with a price target of 620. This should be shooting soon, says Isaac Clark 06. You know, it's all possible, and it's all here, and it's all now on this new channel, which is yet unnamed. Maybe I'll call it Invest with Me. Watch me invest. Investing. Some guy investing. Some guy who invests. Just some guy. One man in a room. What if I just called this A Man in a Room? Someone's bound to watch. By the way, if you want to learn piano, I have another channel. My main channel, my real channel, is Between the Keys. I teach piano on here on YouTube called Between the Keys. All one word. That's Between the Keys to learn piano. And yeah, S&P Global. Brookfield Infrastructure. I've got some of that as well. Look, I'm in at 20. I'm in at 32, and we're at 34. So I'm already up in profit. National Bank has upgraded them. They pay nearly 5% dividend, which is great. What I might do is actually sell this and buy more of Brookfield Infrastructure and Vici and Google and all the others. It's just that simple. I can just buy, sell and buy as much as I want. And that's what I'll do. This is that weird invest monthly thing that I buy. I've got quite a bit in it already. I'm already up. Wow. Why does it say 54%? Is that over the course of what, a year? It's only been going for 3 months, hasn't it? Don't rightly know. But anyway, this is like a big pie that you can buy, and it holds cash and Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Arm, some stuff that I already own, but some stuff that I don't, like Coinbase and Confluent and CrowdStrike. Actually, I do have some CrowdStrike, but there's a lot of stuff in here, so much stuff that you'd be amazed. And it automatically balances it, and it's quite safe. Maybe not the most safe, but I mean, there's a lot of ETFs in here, so I wouldn't call it risky. And yeah, pretty good. I checked that one out. Copy of Invest Monthly. Salesforce, why not have a little sprinkle? 249. You know, it was up at 354. It could be a good one. Salesforce, let's go. Can this stock go up without going down immediately day after? Lol, lol, lol. It's down 16% on the year, 12% on the 3 months, 4% this month. Its max chart is a bit worrying, but you know what? I've got some. Pays a small dividend. They are a customer relationship management technology that brings companies and customers together worldwide. Boring. Anyway, I've got some. Taiwan Semiconductor, huge company. It's a huge one, really big. It's so big, it's really one of the best. You should buy some. And many people say that, and they're right. They're really good. Really big. Check it out. Taiwan Semiconductor. Gotta get some. It's 1.27% dividend. It's really good dividend. One of the smallest, and many people say that. Quite frankly, huge. So it's huge, and technical indicators suggest immediate upward momentum has paused. Sell, sell, sell. With volatility elevated and prices near a key support zone. You know what? This is probably one that I'll sell soon and then regret selling, but not really because I'll get profit. Like I could sell it right now and just take 200 buckaroos. I do like to make me a few hundred buckaroos every now and again whenever I can. Here's another one with similar profit called Centen. However you say it. Is it Centen or Kenten? This is normally a C sound, so Cen, 10, century, Centen. It's got to be Centen. All right, it pays no dividend, and it's a multinational healthcare enterprise that provides programs and services to uninsured individuals in the United States. Blah, blah, blah. It's an insurance company. It's got an adjusted price target of 41, and it's only at 38. And you can see it before, it had a high of 96. So something's got to give. Anyway, I own some. Don't ask me any more questions. I own some, and that's all there is to say. Realty Income is probably an REIT, right? Isn't it? A dividend company. They pay money. The monthly dividend is supported from real estate properties, 6,500 of them, and it pays a 5.3% dividend. So again, better than that other one I had, which was called Stag, which I've already tried to sell, and it will probably sell later today when the market opens. So we're down here. We're down at Realty Income, which is down 3% on the year, and I bought in at 57, and it's at 59, and it will probably continue to go sideways because look at the chart. I mean, at one point it was huge, and at one point it was trash. It was down at 40 something. And then it was huge again, and then yeah, but it's pretty stable. I would say that's pretty volatile actually, but also kind of stable. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know, check it out. Realty Income, not financial advice. Do your own research. Blah blah blah. No delivery. Expect no advice from me. Okay, 17% on the year. Amundi Core Stocks Europe 600. This is an ETF which should be quite safe, and it's a bit boring, but I've bought it anyway. It's got a lot of stuff that I already own, but some stuff that I don't. And like Nestle, who would buy that? But yeah, maybe you do want it. Maybe you want to get some Europe stocks, and this is a good way maybe to do that. Maybe not. Maybe though. because yeah, maybe you want it. Maybe you want an ETF that's kind of stable and safe-ish. Maybe you want MasterCard and maybe you want Visa. I'm up on Visa, but I'm down on MasterCard. But only £1. £1.78. Enough to buy a small nothing because of inflation. Not even a cup of tea in most places. It pays a 0.5% dividend, and it's pretty good to own some stuff that's, you know, like financial sector. So I've got some of that and I've got some of that. And I've still got some of this ASML. I made a lot of money on it. I'm still up a few bucks. I've still got some. The high point recently was 1,043, but now it's only 996. Maybe I'll have some more of it. Maybe it will hit $1,000 again. Maybe it won't. Reason for a dip? Maybe there was. ASML, check it out. They make the computer stuff for semiconductors to be made. They make specific lithography things. I don't know what lithography is, but it sounds good to say it. And apparently it's important. And there's a moat. Don't ask me what a moat is. Something to do with. It used to be about water around a castle was a moat, and now people talk about moats. And it's like how much that company can make money without any competition. That's how I understand it. This might be right. The word moat confuses me a little bit, but people say it. People say it's got a moat. Meaning, in my mind, meaning there's not much competition from any other companies, which can only be a good thing. So get yourself some ASML and get yourself some Johnson and Johnson as well. Look, Johnson and Johnson is one of those safe companies. Safe, apparently, according to my research, because they pay a small dividend and they grow gradually and they make healthcare products like shampoo and stuff. In saying that, it's kind of a boring, safe company, dividend safe, and I'm kind of going for growth, so I might just sell it. I might just sell it now, in fact. I don't remember why I bought it, apart from that it was supposed to be safe and boring. I'd rather have cash and then buy dips on growth stocks and make big buckaroos. Like, yeah. Here's another one I don't know why I have. It's called Viva. I can't remember what it is or why I have it. It provides cloud-based software. That's probably why. Everything cloud has been huge, really big. So, yeah, I've got some. They maintain their hold view on Viva shares. Well, do they now? Because I'm already up nearly 80 buckaroos and I could just take the cash. Take the cash. It's up 44% this year, or over 1 year, I should say. If you look at the max chart, it did hit 332. It might go back up to 332. It might not. They upgraded from buy to hold. Upgraded to buy a target of 380. All right, fair enough. Maybe I will just hold it. I haven't really done much research, but I've only got £1,500. I'd rather not lose this money. So maybe I will sell, but we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Oh, I hate sneezing. Procter and Gamble, I don't even know what the hell they do, but they probably do something good. They provide branded consumer packaged goods worldwide. Of course they do. It's Procter and Gamble. I've heard of that. Fabric, home care, baby, feminine, family care. All good stuff. Good words. 2%, 2.7%. I bought in at 156. I don't know what I was thinking. It was clearly too high. And we're in a downward trend now, apparently. Is there a recession coming? Maybe. I did some ChatGPT research the other day, and I trusted it with my life because it's AI. It would never lie to me, and he lied, and it said we were in a stealth recession. Now I don't really know what that means. I guess we're in a recession, but no one really knows it because they're already feeling the effects of the recession, but the recession isn't showing yet on the paper. I don't know. It said something like that. Sounded good. Kind of scared me. Made me want to sell everything. Yeah, so be careful. We might be in a bubble. But bubbles apparently are not that bad. Bubbles are good. According to Jeff Bezos' recent video, he was saying how bubbles are not that bad as long as they're not like big banking bubbles. If they're not big banking bubbles and they're only techno bubbles, it's still good for society because AI and stuff, how it's going to like make everything so good, so really great. It's going to be the best. Um, so yeah, apparently maybe not in a recession, or maybe we're just going to continually go up forever. Don't know. Don't ask me. Short-term outlook appears mildly bullish. Upward momentum. They should watch for signs of overextension. Well, what are those signs? How do I know? When is it good? But anyway, I'm going to buy more, apparently. Just decided. And that's how I make decisions. Quick and simple. It's not a safe company, but it's not a really unsafe, risky company, I don't think, either. It seems like it's had a bit of a dip, so I'm back in. Estimated 638. And look, they beat their earnings per share stuff. The revenue up 2%. The EPS up 6%. Organic sales. I'm considering purchasing. Yeah, anyway, I've already purchased. I'm back in. I'm in. Because it's had a 5% dip. And I like those, I like the look of those apples. So I'm in. Kraft Heinz was a terrible idea. Don't buy it. That's what I wish I could go back and say to myself. You do your own research. This is not financial advice. But anyway, the price target is 30 and it's at 25. All right, maybe I'll make some money. Maybe I won't. We'll see, but it pays 6% dividend, so it can't be all bad. And I don't have a huge position. I'm okay to be down 70 bucks. I can handle it. Adobe, I don't know, have a look at it. Look, it's down 30% over a year. At one point it was at 552, you maniac. Or higher, 662. And now, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Figma is a threat to Adobe. Remember that they completely... Okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Check it out, man. Physical gold. Canadian National Railway. I've got some small positions down here. Palo Alto, check it out. Ardent Health, why not? Snowflake, Medtronic. iShares Asia excluding Japan. JP Morgan, US Equity Premium Income. Another ETF. Bit of Netflix, a bit of ServiceNow, bit of ResMed, sprinkled in here, sprinkled in there. Costco, why not? They're a safe company, are they not? They pay a 0.5% dividend and they've had a little dip, a little dipperoo. You could have got in at 171. You'd have been kicking yourself that you didn't wait until 9.15. I'm in for 9.69. It's down to 9.13. Guess what? I'm back in for more. I'm in and I'm out like a fish in water. I'm just weaving and bobbing around. Stable and solid. The price target on Costco is now 125. 1025, eh? Well, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Because I'd make money. First Cash, they actually own pawn shops, pawn stores, you know, where you sell stuff and buy it back. And Mexico and in America and Latin America. And I'm down $2, but I'm not worried because it's just a little sort of crazy play because it pays a 1% dividend and the price target of 200 would be amazing. And I heard someone talk about it on another channel and then just sort of bought some. Here's some more gold, physical gold. Good to own some. You should always have some gold because it's been on an absolute tear. And look, you'd be up 20% on the year. If you'd bought this one, you'd be up 48% in a year. Maybe this one's way better. Why am I buying this one? Too late, I've already bought it. Oh well, if I sell it now, do I actually lose money? Yeah, look, FX fee, £1.52. But I would make 16 bucks. Maybe I should only own one of these. It seems like one of them is clearly better than the other. The Amundi one's only up 20%. But it only started in July this year, that's why. So basically they're the same thing, so who cares? Unilever, Costco, First Cash, okay. Visa again for some reason. I don't need to have this in dollars. I've got this in euros. So let's just get rid of this. I made 12 quid, just like that. £12.94 in the bank. Gilead Sciences. Why do I own this? What the hell is it? A biopharmaceutical company that discovers and develops and commercializes medicines. So basically pure evil. 2.69%. Why not? Why not indeed? Gilead Sciences. Why do I own this? I don't know anything. I don't even remember buying this. Look, I'll take £8 if it's there on the table. If you really want me to just have £8 for free, I'll take it. CrowdStrike, OneMedNet. I've got a couple of other load of rubbish stuff. Hang on a minute. Before I sell this, this is one of them weird penny stocks that I bought at Christmas. and I'm up 13 buckaroos with a $2 average. It's at 219. I don't know if this is anything. It's developing and implementing transformative mission critical intelligent infrastructure solutions and services for transportation management, public safety. I mean, who cares about reading all those long words when you could just read what some noob has written on here? He's written something 50 million. Rip to anyone who had a stop loss. Okay. Look, I don't know what this is, so I'm just going to get rid of it and make 13 bucks. And I don't know what one net is either, but it might go up forever. I mean, look, it was at bloody £11. Imagine it went back to £11 and I've got it at 2.39. It might do, so I'll just keep that one in case. Maybe I'll make 100% on it or something crazy. I've got some other weird penny stocks. I've got some Tesla here, which I don't need. And I might increase my position one day. Who knows? Excuse me. And I've got some S&P 500, which at one point was several £1,000s, but eventually I got bored and sold it because I thought we might go into a recession, and apparently we never will, but maybe we will. And I don't know when or why or how, but keep your eyes on the weather on the storm, because there might be a recession already in play or coming in 2026 or late 25. Who knows what's going to happen? It seems like a very weird, never-ending, we'll give you money and then you give them money, and Microsoft, like a big room of a big circle of just the same companies all just giving each other money, inflating hype for AI. It's clearly a bubble, and no one knows when the bubble will pop. So yeah, just think about things. Don't make any rash decisions. Keep some money in cash so that you can always take advantage of dips. And try and be like me and be up 31% in a year. That's not even that good. That's the thing. And that's pretty good. I'm not upset, but that isn't as good as it could have been if I'd have just bought Nvidia, like 100%. But then who just buys all their money in one company? Some people do. And they're not as dumb as they look, because once they make all the money, they can be like, ha ha ha, rich. But yeah, I would have made more if I'd have focused more on specific only them companies, and try not to sell too low. If it's starting to just go up crazy, it's really hard not to sell and be a swing trader and just take profit. Hard to hold. I can hold for a whole year and then suddenly sell like a week too early, and then you lose out on like an extra 10%. And on 60 grand, that's a lot of cash. That's 6 grand that you just blinked away, And it wasn't that bad because, as I say, I did continue selling as Google went up to 250, but I did sell like half my position at 225. So yeah, there's always lessons to be learned. I'm only 30, I'm still going. You've seen my portfolio now, and you've seen what I own and what I'm doing. And hopefully you were inspired or learned something about how to invest. But I'm not telling you how to invest because I don't want to go to prison. So I'm not an investment professional. So do your own research, and don't buy whatever I've bought just for no reason. Look into it and read balance sheets and numbers, and do technical analysis, and maybe even day trade. I don't know. I don't know what you want to do. Do whatever you want. Eat whatever you want. Be whoever you want to be.